The Morning After with Jake and Tori.
Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no clouds hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Swimming through the morning after.
There's got to be a morning after.
Showtime! You're listening to The Morning After.
As we say in the radio business, if you put that on the radio, people will listen to it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
With Jake and Tori.
You're a freak with a microphone.
Maximum effort.
It's The Morning After on 94Z.
Wide awake on National Napping Day. So if you're not in it to win it, you're in my way. Week 12 starts off an hour early. What an absolute weekend. The Bijou birthday party, in one word, hit. That's absolutely right. We were all inspired by comedy this weekend, and that's why we're going to bring the Morning After to you the best way possible from here on out. It is Jake, James, and Tori, the Nature Boy Lee, and it's Monday, so we're hanging out with Waylond Whiskey. We got a top 10. We've got our Nerd Out bracket, a Bottom of the Night Sports, and a special guest coming to the Slam Dot Studios. Keep it locked right here on WNFZ 94.3 on your FM dial.
You're listening to The Morning After on 94Z.
6:14 in the morning. 6:14 in the morning.
Monday.
6:14 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It is Monday, International Napping Day, because of what they did to us with daylight savings, starting our Monday, week 12 of the year, a little bit
5 o'clock. It's
early.
5 o'clock.
It's 5:15.
I'm not even doing it.
Well, we are all hanging out here in the Slam Dot Studio. Jake James, Tori the Nature Boy Lee. It's Monday, so we're visiting with Waylond Whiskey. And, of course, we've got the number one hitter himself from the Well-Read Comedy, the guy that never lets me down, a man I got to see get married very up close and personal, and many other milestones in his life. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cory Forrester.
What's up, Jay James?
How you doing today, buddy? Chickamauga's own favorite son.
I'm good, man. I'm tired, but I'm here.
Man, I appreciate it. Way to soldier through.
Man, I ain't been to bed.
I know you have.
No, I ain't been to bed. I've been up editing stuff and just, hanging out and I was drinking at various establishments here in Knoxville, Preservation Pub, shout out.
Yep, they do a good job.
But I'm here.
I appreciate it. Yeah. You edited a podcast. You did a live show.
I did some
promos. I did some
video stuff. Yeah, man, I'm rocking it.
He's prolific.
That's what it's. See, you have to be your own producer for y'all stuff. I luck out. I have a Tori, the greatest producer in all radio history.
Yeah, no, I don't have that.
You need a Tori in your life, buddy.
Yeah, man, we got to get that next level, and then we got it, but we ain't there yet, so yeah, I'm the dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it coming in and hanging out with us, man. How was the Bijou's 110th birthday, getting to come back and do like a homecoming show on that weekend?
Are you kidding me? You were there, man. It was insane.
I did see it.
First off, let me tell you something, Knoxville. If you don't know this, if you don't regularly attend shows at the Bijou, you are missing out. It is literally, in my opinion, and you know me, Jay James, right. I go across this entire country. I see venues, and there's beautiful venues across this entire country. There are none better than the Bijou here in Knoxville. I'm not kidding.
The acoustics are amazing.
It's amazing. So here's the deal. It's big like a theater, but it feels like a comedy club because everything's stacked on top of you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. If you're a comedian, if you're any type of like intimate performer, you have to do the Bijou, and when you do, you will have a religious experience. It's the best thing, and it's also aesthetically gorgeous.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, I've had one of the best weekends. The last good weekend I had like this was the last time I was here in Knoxville at the Bijou last year with you, Jake James.
Yep. We got to do the podcast again that night.
Yeah.
That was an amazing. You guys have rocked it there now both times, and absolutely amazing.
And dude, I'm telling you, the day that I can't come back to the Bijou, I'm gonna go, well, all right, this is a wrap on this. You know what I mean? I can't do it anymore.
Well, you got to do the Tennessee Theater now.
Cupcakes,
right?
Yeah, man. No, I hear you, but I mean, and by the way, I love the Tennessee Theater. I've been to the Tennessee Theater. I've seen Jason Isbell there. I've seen Chris Stapleton there. I've seen Sturgill Simpson there. But I'll be honest with you, your boy would rather just do 4 shows at the Bijou.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a bold statement right there.
I would, because it's just, I know how it works. I know how that place works. The acoustics are amazing. It's just a beautiful place. I love it.
It is.
And that's one that's still on your list, right? You've performed at the Bijou.
I've played at the Bijou. We opened up for Robin Trower one time there. So yeah, I agree with you. It is a religious experience almost.
Dude, what about the load-in for a band? What about the load-in? Is it
the load-in there? Well, for us, it wasn't that hard. They kind of block off the side street and bring it in that side door, so it's right on the stage.
Right into the stage.
See, that wedding DJ in me immediately is like, yeah, it might be awesome, but what's that load-in like? These speakers
it's not like the Tennessee Theater used to be back in the old days. Nothing like that.
See, that's the best part about being a comedian. You're like, load-in?
No load-in at all.
What are you talking about? I got my backpack and ball cap.
We just got to bring a bad attitude. That's all it is. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It ain't that heavy.
That is excellent. Well, I tell you what, you're our guest today. We're doing our Nerd Out bracket.
Okay.
During this next break, I want you to pick our matchup for today.
Okay.
You got to pick one from one side or the other. You know what I mean? You get to pick up the matchups for
you.
Let
me know what's going on. I'll do it.
All right.
I see my man Stan Lee up there.
Yeah, he's already moved on. So
I was about to say, I mean, I can't do no better than that.
He took down Thanos like almost.
Of course he did.
Almost immediately.
You kidding me? Of course he did.
And then, so we're going to let you pick that. We're going to find out some more about what it's like. We've talked a lot last 2 weeks about open mic etiquette.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're so far from needing to go to an open mic. I want to see what the comedy kind of etiquette changes once you guys are big and touring and whatnot. And so,
big. Oh, my God. No.
Oh, look at this guy. I love it when y'all play humble like
comparatively,
that. 6:19 in the morning, Monday, March 11th. Let's go ahead and get our first check on traffic and weather from Knoxville's new, true, and only alternative, 94.7.
The Morning After with Jake and Tori.
6:28 in the morning. It's the Morning After on 94Z. We're hanging out in the Slam Dot Studios, a.k.a. the Intergalactic Cadillac, riding smooth around Knoxville and worldwide at 94zrocks.com. Jake James and Tori, the Nature Boy Lee, hanging out in the Slam Dot Studios. And it's a Monday, so we're here with Waylond Whiskey and, of course, our special guest, Cory Forrester from the Well-Read Comedy Tour, Chickamauga's favorite son, and one of our best friends. Thank y'all so much for both of you coming in here. But, Cory, we really appreciate it.
Can I tell you something right now, Jake James?
Yes, sir.
I know who you are. I've known you for a very long time, and I've known that you've done this radio show, and I'm sitting here watching you do it, and it's exactly what I thought it would be. You're the best at what you do. This is insane. My goodness. That's the smoothest intro I've ever heard in my entire life.
Man, well, I very much appreciate
Knoxville, if you're listening to me right now, you're so lucky because most radio sucks, but this does not. That was insane. I want to listen to this. I want to drive through Knoxville every single morning just to hear Jake James serenade me with that little intro. I'll get up at 6.
You're one of the few people that can afford it because you're going to need a lot of rental cars with these potholes around here, buddy.
Yeah, but dude, I got a couple rental cars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a couple. It don't matter. Well, we left a rental car one time in California. They like straight left it in a parking lot, couldn't find it, and we were just like, they'll deal with it, and they did.
That's a rite of passage in California,
have people
right?
that do that, yeah.
You either burn the car, or like there's always a car fire in California.
No, we straight up called the rental car company. We're like, we don't know where it is. They're like, well, you got to go find it. We're like, no, we got another show in Sacramento. Y'all got to go find it. Yeah. How much do you want? I promise you want this car way more than we do. You know what I'm saying? I hated it when y'all gave it to me.
Right. We wanted the Mustang.
Yeah, 100%.
And you gave us the Corolla.
It was a Corolla, by the way.
The best cars to leave behind.
Yeah, it ain't bad.
There's something
best
wrong
cars
with
to leave behind.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the Corolla too. There's that one model of Corolla that loses a hubcap.
Yeah.
There's that white Corolla or Camry or whatever that is that they've always missing that driver's side.
That's so
front.
true. It's just one.
There's one weak driver's side hubcap on all those Corollas.
Yeah.
Well, guys, before we even get to talk about the weekend and what that was, Friday, after we got out of here, I hung out, I talked with Shu a little bit, got to see how excited he was to get to go see the Pixies. And then I decided to head downtown to what is my favorite theater and go see the Captain Marvel movie.
Yes.
Because Thursday we had Dr. Dog, and there was no way for me to squeeze that in.
Dr. Dog was in here?
Yeah. Well, not on the show. We had him at the Mill and Mine Thursday night.
I love Dr. Dog.
They were amazing.
They're great.
Tori said I need to wear the helmet because I bang my chin into somebody jumping up and down. You can't take me anywhere, Cory. You
need to wear a helmet for a lot of reasons, but yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Me and Jay talked about that the other night at the Pixies show.
Yeah, I'm a window licker. Did he tell you how he took me right up to the front row?
Yeah.
I'm training for Moon Taxi and Bonnaroo, so I'm slowly starting to get closer to the front row because there's people, and man, it gets hot. And this one girl smelled really good. But anyway, so I'm going to go see the Captain Marvel movie. Well, I'm going to go and see what I think is the 12:45 showing. right? I'm going to go see the 12:45, and I got my Regal card, and so, of course, I get to walk in and see it for free. And then I'm sitting there because I'm kind of walking in at like 12:43. Like, you know me, I don't want to miss the previews, right? So
you can't miss the preview. I'm so mad at people that are like, hey, the movie starts at this. Let's get there at this time. I'm like, no. I got to see I got to know what I'm about to do.
Right, and this is a new movie. And I know that new movies now, well, you used to have to wait for them, but like Twitter will, or what? Not just Twitter, but YouTube will also put the trailer out the week ahead of time.
I'm out.
Right? And I'll still watch that, but I want to see it on the big screen. That's 100%. Where the trailers hit.
Absolutely.
And so, and I got my seat that I like. Everybody know I like sit on that one end seat where I can use the steps and my arm rail, and it comes up.
Also, with a Marvel movie, you got to go when it first comes out because you want like everybody to be in that theater. You want that experience, emotional experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, theater movies have that feeling. Like 100%. I want to hear somebody munching popcorn. I want to hear somebody whispering like, pss, pss, "Iron Man 3 sucked." Yeah. Right? Like I want to hear all the conversations. I like the theater. I like when I can hear somebody's feet coming up off a sticky Coke in the back.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like I like theater experience.
Dude, I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Man, some people don't get it.
No,
but those people usually have good internet and can get movies on a nice TV at home.
I can do both. I can do that. I can do that too. J. James, I can do literally whatever I want.
Right.
Everything's good for me.
Right.
But going to the theater is still the greatest thing in the world.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's the best.
I can do what I want.
I can do whatever I want.
I got life-changing money now.
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Be like, you want to change the weather? Let's go to Fiji today.
Yeah.
So I'm going in. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm making that like decision. Do I have enough time to get my high C fruit punch large? Because it goes slower. It's not like how Coke Classic comes out of the thing. Like it sits there and dribbles.
Because I ain't got the carbonation. It just
right.
flows.
So
yeah, I'm
like,
with you.
And I know if I get the large, I can get a refill. Right. But I'm like, man, 3 people in line, 1 person working at noon. We'll get some more people. I don't know what's going on. And so I'm making a decision. I'm like, I'll get the drink. I got enough time for that. Well, not only did I have enough time, and this is like the 3rd or 4th time they've messed up like this, long story, even longer, when I finally get to sit down, the preview's all in. It goes dark like it's about to start because they do these little like, hi, I'm Tammy, and I'm Jen, and this is our Regal movie, right? And they show like this little commercial they made, and that's how you know it's about to start. Like it's the last thing. So that goes off, and the lights come down, and then all of a sudden, this very long preview comes on for Captain Marvel. And I'm like, as soon as it ended, I went, we already bought the ticket.
Yeah, we're here.
Like, we're here. We're doing this, right? And I normally won't like speak out loud in the movie, but what are you doing?
Wait, you're seeing Captain Marvel, and a preview for Captain Marvel
comes on as it's supposed to be the movie started.
That's
so the preview goes off, lights come back on, talking about, all right, y'all, hope you enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah, so the lights come back on. Now, it's like the 15 minutes of preview, so it's 1 o'clock. By the time the movie got started, going back and forth, trying to figure it out, when it was 1:40, so an hour later than it was supposed to actually start.
No way.
The movie finally comes on, and you know how they do the Marvel Tn now, especially since, and it shows like instead of it being comics, it was movie pictures. Well, now that Marvel thing, not gonna ruin for nobody, no spoilers here. It's done in a special way for our boy, #1 seed, Stan Lee. Okay?
That's such a bummer.
And when it came on, the lights were still on in the place. So that what would have probably made me burst into tears, right? Was
just
like,
made you mad.
Just made me angry.
Yeah, right. It's such a bummer because like the main criticism I've been hearing, which is insane BS from like all the Redditors, just like, oh yeah, Captain Marvel, y'all are pushing the feminist agenda.
That was so stupid.
It's
not even like that.
This is all about women. This movie's all about women. And then here's what happens. Stereotypically, the woman's late. You know what I'm saying? An hour late. And that's what's going on. You know what I mean? And that ain't right. That ain't what they should do. They did that on purpose. That was some incel back there riding the
You know what? That's kind of funny because the last time this happened, it was at Wonder Woman.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's propaganda ran by a bunch of sad men up there that are rowing the film.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't got a date.
Nope.
They got to keep their Reddit comments on fleek.
I might be a special saddle kind of guy, but I found out lately I'm not the +1 kind of guy.
Yeah, I heard that.
But the movie eventually started, but because it was off time, you know how, what do you do at a Marvel movie? You stay through all the credits.
You have to.
Yeah.
So before the credits were even done, for the end credit scene, it was already playing the sound for the, you got so early that you play the little video game on the app on the screen before the preview start. So I have no idea what the sound was for the last post-credit scene because it was all like, pew, 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 hit these lasers, win some free stuff. it was a bad experience.
Well, Jay James,
but the
it seems
movie
like
still gets an overall B.
It sounds like, man, you need to go see that movie again today.
Yeah, we're going to have to cleanse my palate of it.
Yeah,
We'll definitely go do it
I don't
today.
like that for you, man. That ain't good.
It does not hit.
No, that don't hit. That don't hit at all.
6:36 in the morning. Why y'all messing up? Don't mess up my movie experience. I hate that. Let's get a check on traffic and weather from 94Z.
You're listening to The Morning After with Jake and Tori on 94Z.
6:48 in the morning. It's The Morning After on 94Z. And even though it might feel like it's 7, we've had enough fun already today where it feels like it's noon. It's great, man. We're hanging out with Cory, Forrester, Waylond Whiskey. Of course, the greatest producer in all of radio history, Tori the Nature Boy Lee, and myself, Jake James. And I brought all that up about them messing up at the movie because I saw this article about Brie Larson worked a shift during the screening of Captain Marvel.
Right.
And I was just telling you, I mean, it's hard enough for you to get a drink before the movie. Could you imagine a line for Brie? You know,
dude. No, Lord, no.
It'd be ridiculous.
Brie Larson is the one person that I can truly say that when I saw her for the first time, and it was in a very small role on The League on FX.
Love that show.
So I saw Brie Larson she was Pete's on and off girlfriend for like two episodes.
The au pair.
Yes, she was the au pair.
Yeah.
The first time I saw her, I had no idea who that was, but her comedic timing was so amazing that me and my buddy Robert were watching. I go, I don't know who this person is, but she's going to be very big.
She was.
And it's the only time I've ever been right. I've said that about some people, and they fizzled out and died,
right?
You know, as most people do in the entertainment industry, but I was correct with her.
Yeah,
I was like, she's going to be huge, and she is.
That's what happened. Cory was like, I think this Brad guy from Subline's going to be really big.
Man.
And then he just fizzled out and died.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that episode was great. She was great in that, and you mentioned her comedic timing.
It was great.
I was just
you
telling,
can't coach that.
I was just telling Waylon outside, like, obviously I'm not going to give any spoilers away from the movie, but if Tori and I were in the kitchen, and I said, Tori, you going to help me with the dishes? And he just, like, grabbed the dish and threw it on the ground, and I was like, so, no then? Right?
That's perfect.
She has, like, kind of a line like that in it, and I said that if it had been Chris Pratt or if it had been Iron Man or something, that would have been in the trailer,
right?
Because it was such a great, and
sure.
A lot of these things we've been hearing about. Oh, she doesn't smile, and it's like,
well, good. Why would she?
What? You're a superhero.
She's a superhero,
right? But yet, throughout
I ain't
the
never
entire
seen
movie,
Bruce Banner smile one time.
No.
Why would she smile? She ain't Captain Marvelous.
No.
You know what I'm saying? She's Captain Marvel. She ain't supposed to smile. She is from Kree. She is, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, she is a warrior that is sent to Earth. Why would she smile? She is confused.
Warrior,
she is on a planet that she is not supposed to be, and now she's in charge of saving people that don't even like her gender.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, she's supposed to smile. Get out of here.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Every single person, every single incel on Reddit, get out of here. You're a loser. All right? You're a loser, and you don't like joy.
Actually, on this show, no one really is a loser. We always say that, man. No one's a loser.
Except for Flat Earth.
That's true.
Flat Earth, we do giggle after that.
By the way, that's the same people.
Right.
It's the same people.
Yeah, the Flat Earthers are the same people that are on the incels on Reddit talking about Captain Marvel. Like, anytime we see a woman in a leading role, that must be a feminist agenda. It's like, oh, so a woman just can't be in a movie without you going, they're trying to push something on me. Yeah, they're just trying to push a movie that has a woman in it. That's all they're trying to do.
This character.
Yeah, you ain't got to watch it. Go home.
They were
some
mad about
genetic
Apocalypse.
predisposition. If you think like that, you also don't have a chin.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah.
Tori, why did the Hulk not smile in Infinity War? What did he have? Hulk towel dysfunction.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Hulk towel dysfunction. Mama Lee came up with that one.
Yeah, Mama Lee rocked. She was like, he got Hulk towel dysfunction. I was like, that's great.
That ain't bad.
That's great right there. No, I think that they pulled it off very well. It seemed like that joke, though, like I was saying, it kind of was a little bit fast.
Sure.
But you're in the middle of a fight. Right,
yeah.
So I think that she did a lot of great comedy. I went into it thinking
also not
that
for
it was going to be the
did
flop. I thought it was going to be a flop. I really did.
She also probably did that line 8 different ways, and the production decided to leave that one in there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've had that done to me where I was like, y'all put the one in there where I sucked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember doing that good. Y'all have done this.
Well, that's kind of like how the Captain Kirk got away with the interracial kiss.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They kept telling, like, all right, we're going to shoot one without the kiss. And he kept kissing until it was the very last one. And they had to do it without the kiss. And so he looked at the camera and, like, crossed his eyes and made something weird. So they had to wind up going with the take of him actually kissing. So that's how that first interracial kiss goes.
Yeah, and that was one of the most controversial moments on TV, and it was so crazy to me. They're like, "Oh my God, Captain Kirk kissed a black lady." And I'm like, "Yeah, there's an alien behind him too."
Yeah, purple lady, a green lady.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a phaser. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, everybody.
There was a lot of great stuff about the flick, though. So yeah,
I'm pumped.
You're gonna enjoy it.
Me, I'm a Marvel freaking. That's what I do. I'm a super fan.
My buddy said, "What was the score I gave it?" And I said B.
Hey, from Jay James, that's good because you're a very good critic. I love reading on Facebook your movie critiques. I take them to heart and I go, okay, that's what. Sometimes I've disagreed with you on like small points. I've never disagreed with you overall, except on Last Jedi, I think.
Well, and Big Lebowski, you're in the crowd with Tori. You like that flick?
That's one of the best movies. But I'm a huge Coen Brothers fanboy.
Yeah.
Like they literally can do no wrong to me.
Yeah.
I stand for them so hard.
agree.
Anything the Coen Brothers do, I love it. Anything T-Bone Burnett is involved in, I love it. I'm gonna humble brag here. T-Bone Burnett, friend of mine.
Oh, this guy.
So
they're gonna buy a hotel later.
I saw, maybe I saw Frances McDormand in the line for the bathroom at a pizza place one time. I'm just saying,
maybe.
I like the Coen Brothers.
Well, I mean, if we're going to be throwing out brags, I was down in Key West one time at whatever it is, Captain Tony's.
Yeah.
And I sat on the stool that said Seinfeld. So,
okay.
Take that. That's pretty close.
I ain't never done that. What have you done? You broke something?
Wow. My spider senses was tingling right there.
Hey, James, I haven't even slept all night, and I haven't broken a mic yet.
I have never done that, so it's the first time for everybody.
It's a good time to go to break.
But I did catch that right there. That's pretty cool right there. Now, definitely I give it a B because the idea of getting an A in most Marvel movies, it's too
insane.
much.
Because you start throwing it out there, then you know what I'm saying?
Just a B is perfect.
Infinity War's an A.
And a lot of people got mad at what I said for.
One is definitely an A.
Civil War is an A++.
Well, but that's a different kind of movie. It's a very slow one. It's a love story.
I love slow burns.
But it's a love story between two homies, right?
Yeah, it is.
That, you should have told me the truth kind of thing. And that's what'll ruin a friendship. And it's a beautiful story, but it is slow, and that's why it's like the most B+ one I can give it.
Also, when Spider-Man busts out,
oh yeah,
that was good.
Forget about it. 5 minutes until 7 a.m. We've got a big matchup in our Nerd Out bracket. We're going Batman Optimus Prime from the Emerald City, and of course, the dang, it's hard to beat green Kermit the Frog matchup, Yoda versus Slimer. We'll be right back here on the Morning After for the Morning After Nerd Out on 94.6.
Don your utility belt and ready your cape. It's time for the Morning After Nerd Out. Brought to you by Snake Eyes Comics, offering a great selection of comics for fans of all ages. Selling the stuff your mom threw out at 9317 Kingston Pike.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, freaks, geeks, nerds, snorks, and dorks, it is time for the Morning After Snake Eyes Comics March Madness bracket. We're still in the opening round. It is day 5. We've got some big, huge matchups. From the Metropolis bracket, we've got the Not Easy Being Green matchup. It is Yoda versus Slimer. And then in Emerald City, we got the very extremely upset Batman who had to travel from Gotham to take on Optimus Prime in the first round. We want to know what you think. The Campbell Cunningham Laser Center listen line, 693-8441. 693-8441. Call us up. Let us know what you think about these matchups. Picked by Cory Forrester today in the Slam Dot Studios, Intergalactic Cadillac. Tori the Nature Boy Lee, Waylond Whiskey, Cory Forrester, and of course, myself, Jake James. Guys, we're going to go right with Tori on the very first matchup in the early game. Tori, it ain't easy being green. What do you got here? Yoda and Slimer.
It ain't easy being green.
Every time.
Kermit the Frog here.
Yes.
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog.
That's who
here.
I want him. Like, if this was on the Ocho, I want him being the commentator.
The dreamers.
Okay,
and me.
Great cut.
I'm picking Yoda for the obvious reason.
You're picking Yoda.
Now, we've already had it where one Jedi didn't get through. Peter Parker took out one, so it's,
wait, who Peter Parker take out?
Luke Skywalker.
And like I said, that was a good matchup, but that is crazy.
Well,
like, in an actual street fight, that ain't happening at all.
Morning After, who this?
Hey, this is Josh.
Hey, Josh, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing great, man.
You ready to start your Monday off?
I better be.
Yeah, right. It's happening earlier than you thought. Man, what do you got in these matchups right here? Slimer versus Yoda and Batman versus Optimus Prime.
I'm going with Yoda.
Makes sense.
Yoda.
You got your Jedi right there, lightsaber, old soul.
Got to
go with that. Good pick. What do you got in the Batman Optimus Prime round?
I'm going to go with Batman. I mean, so with Yoda and Slimer, it's easy. What happens when Yoda becomes a ghost? He's still pretty much just kicking butt nonstop.
Right. I mean, Force Ghost versus regular Ghost.
Yeah. What's Slimer's midi-chlorian count? You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think he has
Ain't even got one.
Don't have one at all.
Ain't even got one.
And then what about for you, Batman? How's your Batman going to pull this off?
I look at it this way. If Batman can beat Superman, then Batman can beat Optimus Prime. He's always got a plan. He's going to know exactly what weak points to go to. He's going to know where to take the bolts out on that machine and just make it crumble down.
Yep, he would just mechanic it right there like a NASCAR guy. Josh, thanks for the call, buddy. We appreciate it.
No problem, man.
All right. We got another one right here, Toy. Morning After, who this?
Hey, this is Daniel. How you doing?
Hey, Daniel. Buddy, how you doing? Appreciate the call. Who you got in these matchups, man? Slimer, Yoda?
Oh man. I thought the previous caller made a good point. Slimer is a ghost, and Yoda has entered the ethereal plane and has demonstrated his powers of the Force even from the life after.
Right.
So I think Yoda's going to take him no problem. I mean, even on the base level of the Jedi mind trick. I mean, Slimer, all he cares about is eating.
Right.
And that doesn't seem like he's got a strong willpower in my mind. He just gives into it. So I think Yoda's just going to, screw with him mentally. He might not even have to, get up and drop his staff. So
yeah, he probably won't even have to get out of his chair, kind of like Rick Sanchez. But I feel Slimer on that. All I want to do is eat also, and I have very bad willpower, so I get it.
We all relate. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Daniel, what do you see in the Batman matchup with Optimus Prime?
Oh, Batman all day. I mean, he's Batman. You take away all the layers. I mean, he's going to figure out a way around Optimus Prime. I mean, Optimus. The only thing that'd be kind of interesting is if Optimus were to, kind of pull a Decepticon move and turn into the Batmobile. Ooh. And trick.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Trick Bruce Wayne or Batman into jumping in and being like, well, now what?
Pull him in the garage and put the window down, let the exhaust do its trick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or just transform with him inside.
Ooh, and kind of crush him.
Yeah, but then Bruce Wayne will just buy the company that made Optimus Prime.
He's got Hasbro on lock.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Which, it actually brings up a little side question, but you remember that Transformer that was the Giant City? Yes. It was one of the worst Transformers
Omega
in terms
Supreme.
of disguising.
Omega.
Whatever happened to those people?
The people that would be in the city?
Yeah, the one that transformed it into a giant city or whatever it was.
Well, I mean, it was a city and then also a ship, right? So wouldn't it be like
close the plant?
It'd be like Cybertron on the inside, right? I'm sure they have a little cargo bay and kind of Voltron in it.
That's how I felt about Ant-Man and the Wasp when they shrunk the building and they pulled it up and he just like his little suitcase. Right. I was like, well, there goes your furniture. It's tipping over. This don't make any sense.
Well, Daniel, we appreciate the call, buddy.
Hey, thank you, guys. Take care. Bye.
Wow. That's I feel like it's going to be kind of the overall thought process that the opening round, Batman's had enough time to prepare. He's been watching game tape, and that's the whole thing. If he's got enough time to prepare, he can take out anybody. Morning After, who this?
It's Jason again. Got to call in, throw in my 2 cents.
Right. All right. Hey, Jason, appreciate you, buddy. What you got for us?
No problem. Let's get the easy one out of the way. Here's the first thing I want to say is I love Ghostbusters, and I love that they even came up in this match. But Slimer, not really a opponent for anyone. I mean, I don't know if anybody watched those cartoons or not, but he was harmless, completely harmless.
Right.
It doesn't really matter who you match him up against. He's gonna lose. It's just he's a ball of ectoplasm. He's gonna get you messy. But Ghostbusters was cool. Maybe next year we could see some Zool or something like that. Just
there is only Zool. If we put Zool in, there's only Zool.
Yeah, I think Slimer had to play his way in.
Well,
yeah, he had to play his way in.
Marshmallow Man. Well, Yoda would still take down Stay Puft. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But Yoda, he's a badass. We'll just leave it at that. But this Batman Optimus Prime thing,
the Battle of the Horns.
What's that?
I said the Battle of the Horns.
The Battle of the Horns. I like it. I'm going to go with the upset here and pick Optimus.
Woo! A hot take.
Yeah. I mean, I love Batman. Who doesn't? It's Batman. If, always be yourself. Unless you could be Batman, then always be Batman, right?
Roger that.
But Optimus Prime, no. If they were okay, here's the thing: Batman does have a lot of really awesome toys, and I think if he knew the matchup was coming, he could build like some sort of awesome giant bat like mech machine to fight in, and be like a giant robot battle, and then he might be able to compete. But head to head on the street, giant robot truck versus simply a human with some toys and tricks. Like, I love Batman, but I'm going with the upset here. Optimus Prime.
I like that. I think Optimus could, Optimus smash. So, man, I appreciate the call, man.
Yeah, man.
I like that we got our first Optimus vote right there.
All
right. So, Tori, the first thing I would say about Slimer, and even like Carl brought up the cartoon.
Yeah.
Slimer, let's face it, Slimer's basically the Porg. Right?
Yeah.
He's there to sell toys. And then even putting him in the cartoon and making
That's
him...
a good shout-out to the Porg right there.
Right. I mean, it's the same kind of deal. He's the Mook character, right? Like, if you see Pauly Shore in the movie, you know it's going to be Jar Jar or a Slimer kind of character. It is the Pauly Shore. Like, he's just there to go...
All right.
Right.
We still have our picks here. I've got another one here.
And, well, I was just saying with Slimer, the only reason that I would give him any love is because he got pulled off like a Porg. He's for a toy, but Ecto Cooler, bro.
All right.
Ecto Cooler.
I'm going to take Batman.
Taking Batman.
I like Batman.
So you got Yoda and Batman.
I never was a Transformer fan. So.
The Ninja Detective gets another vote.
Going for the Batman.
All right. Okay. Waylon, what you got, buddy?
All right. I definitely say, because Slimer, he's just a sentient booger with diabetes.
Yeah, that's true.
All he does is eat. He's got the sugars. Yoda just has to wait, and he's going to fall over into a coma anyway. So Yoda's going to take that.
Yeah,
and I think Batman's going to make Optimus Prime blow a tranny. In many ways, because Batman, he's got the strategy, and Optimus Prime is not a strategist.
No, he runs forward.
He just runs forward. Batman will figure it out. So I'm going with Batman.
Okay, I go Batman with that. All right, Cory Forrester from the Well-Read Comedy Show. Who do you got in these matchups? You picked them.
First off, there's not one Sith Lord that Yoda has already taken down that anyone would put up against Slimer. So let's go ahead and say that. There's no way that Yoda doesn't take down Slimer. He's literally a Jedi Master. And as we said, Slimer is just, he's there to sell toys. Okay.
But you don't see like an overconfident Buster Douglas situation, right?
No, not even remotely.
Okay.
Because Yoda's the most zen person. Yoda could force ghost his way into that. He could sit there and have his little omnipresence beat him in a... It's not... That's the dumbest one I've ever... That's a 16-1. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Batman Optimus Prime. Here's the deal. Batman, obviously the better character. One of the most legendary characters of all time.
All time. 80th birthday coming up this month.
No doubt.
1,000th issue of Detective Comics that you can get at Snake Eyes. Go ahead and get you a file service right now.
Wow.
So you're ready to get that, man. It's going to be bad.
Now, Optimus Prime is obviously huge, otherworldly, a literal robot machine. But depending on how much time Batman had to prepare for that, and also... I don't know. I've just never seen Batman go down. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's Batman and Yoda, no doubt, easily.
And another call, bro.
Not easily. The Batman and Optimus Prime. That's a good game, and it could be a 12-5 upset. But the Yoda Slimer, that's a 16-1. I don't even know why we're talking about it.
All right. You see the blowout
because they're both green. That's all we're doing.
We've heard that what if that Batman had a mech system? Well, he does. He's got in the Rebirth. We've seen where Lois Lane used the Bat mech suit that was on the moon or whatever. So when they were fighting, and whichever Superman that was, and then of course, Commissioner Gordon's running around town now in a Batman mech suit. He's the Batman for a little while. So anything can be slapped on with the Batman label. What Batman is the Ninja Detective.
Sure.
Right? Two of the best things that you want to be. Right? You don't get to be Sherlock Holmes because you're not good at your job. You don't get to be a ninja because you're not awesome.
He's also a computer whiz, so you just hack Optimus Prime.
Well, he's going to
give him a virus.
Well, he wasn't a computer whiz back in the 40s. Like, you can just keep writing in things that Batman's great at, right? Because what he is all of us that had the time, the money, and the want to help your city.
Also,
right? So he's the symbol. Optimus is saving the whole universe, though, bro.
Right.
He's trying to bring back Cybertron.
I agree with that, and because Optimus Prime is trying to save the entire universe, though, they're both faces in this situation, right? So Batman could probably, in this situation, trick the heel Joker in his employ to come help him with Optimus Prime because, you know what I'm saying, in that same universe. I'm saying Optimus Prime's the ultimate good guy. Why can't the Joker come in, blow up something?
Man.
Are we allowing this?
It's how you want to take it. It's how you want to take it. Let's get your final vote. Final vote.
Batman over Optimus Prime, easy, and Yoda over Slimer in a walk.
All right. I've got Yoda because, like I said, Slimer is just the porg. He's there to sell toys. Yoda is there to spread knowledge. The whole reason they brought him back for Jedi was so that he could actually say the line, yes, he is your father, so that the kids would believe it from Empire, right? So it's like that's how trusting this puppet is with Grover's voice, right? Frank Oz crushed that, and what it worked together to where Yoda, it doesn't matter if he's in a cartoon or not. So, yes, Yoda all day. Now, I'm going to go with the other upset. I'm going Optimus on this. Saving the world from Cybertron. I mean, Batman has got it in so many ways, but he's all of us. He's an everyday man. I think that if Optimus winds up, even in the head days, I think he could have tricked him or whatever. I'm going Optimus just for the obvious reason of, he got like laser, axe, man. Yeah, Batman ain't never seen no laser axe. 7:27 in the morning. We're going to be talking about it all day. It's our Snake Eyes Comics Morning After Nerd Out bracket. Get your votes in now. Yoda versus Slimer. Batman versus Optimus. We'll be right back here on the Morning After on 94.7.
It's the Morning After on 94Z.
Ooh, hate mail flowing. Turns out people like Batman a lot more than I realized. So, wow. But I still feel like Optimus got it, man. Laser axe. You know what I'm saying? That first one was cool. All right. So this kind of conversation got brought up last night. I feel like it's kind of basic. We've done it with almost everything. We usually say if you had your starting five or whatever it would be. Like when it was draft day and we've drafted people, we like to compare a lot of that stuff to sports. But in this country, we have a giant, beautiful monument. There was a great mountain even before, Victor Borgward or whatever got involved. But Rushmore. And everybody says, who's on your Rushmore? And since we were visiting with Cory Forrester from the Well-Read Comedian Comedy Group, and, of course, Waylond Whiskey from the Black Liver Society, two of the best comedians that I know.
I too, was in the Black Liver
Yes,
Society.
he was.
Yeah, but some people pull a Jalen and leave. You know what I'm saying? And so, right? But, hey. We understand. Yeah, still great. Those videos were great back then. You guys still doing great things. I just want to give Waylon love. Black Liver never gets love. So, two of the greatest comedians that I know right here in the studio, and Tori, one of the people that appreciates comedy more than almost anyone. Right? It's like only second to your love of guitars.
Yes, love my comedy.
So like,
well, I love your comedy.
That's like a 6, right? So it's like it goes drums, wife drums. So there's the first 4. Right.
A comedian is something I always wanted to be when I was younger, but now after hanging out with you guys, no.
No, because you still have love in your heart.
Yeah. So it's too much work, too. I mean, it's
so I kind of want to put it together. Yes, it's horribly a lot of work, and it takes. Anyway, now I wanted to say some, like, you remember Rock and Jock from the MTV? How they have like that mixture of teams. Well, I'm going to call this one Stool and Mike, right? And it's the Rushmore of comedians.
Okay.
And you can have. Like one face can also be like a group.
Okay.
Right? Like if you want to be like, the Well-Read guys, right? Then that could be one face, right? Or a single person. Let's mix it up. And also one comic must still be alive.
Okay.
Right? So one comic must still be alive. And Tori, you seemed to already have yours before we started, and then when I said somebody had to be alive.
Yeah.
So if you want to drop 5 on us and give us your 4 dead ones first, then that's all right. What are you thinking right here? What's on your Rushmore of comedy?
How many do I have to pick from again?
4.
4. Okay.
It's 4 faces on Mount Rushmore in case anybody.
George Carlin, number 1.
Carlin.
Good call.
Joan Rivers.
Yep.
Good
I said
call.
that last night.
We did. We talked about it last night.
Okay. Richard Pryor.
Pryor.
That was it.
Okay. For the one that's alive.
Mm-hmm. But who was your dead one first before you had to change it?
Robin Williams.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my holy trilogy right there. Is Robin Williams, George Carlin, Richard Pryor.
Good call.
Right off.
Yeah, and Joan.
And I always loved Joan Rivers just because she's Joan
amazing.
Rivers.
Groundbreaking, insane.
Yeah. But as far as having to be alive, I'll go with Steve Martin.
Okay.
Good call.
And one group, Monty Python.
All right, that's great. Look at
which
Troy
one of them's dead. So
he's
bonus. Yeah, that was good. And for a group
and John Cleese gave the best eulogy of all time at that funeral.
Yes,
in my opinion, that was terrific.
Well, man, if you can get John Cleese to say something about you, you're
my
doing
God,
good. You're doing something good. You're doing something good. All right, which one do you guys want to go next?
Go ahead, Rick.
All right.
Oh, my bad, Waylon. Excuse me.
You can call me.
I call him Rick.
5 different names.
I know.
Last
night they're doing the podcast, and they said, and Rick did this, and I was like, who? They're like, oh, Waylon. And I'm like, man, he got 8 names.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's the most nicknaming guy.
I still don't know his real name, but
No, nobody does. His mother still doesn't.
No, that's
She
true.
calls him Waylond.
My dad actually doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't know my first name.
That's great.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sounds like a romantic
So
comedy.
so it's just 4, right?
Yeah, but Tori crushed it. He also threw a group in.
Now, can you do the same, or do I have to come up with 4 new ones that weren't on his list?
Oh, well, no, because it's your Rushmore. So if there's something on your list, then that helps it out, too, because obviously that's crossover.
Okay, now I'm not going to.
But for good radio.
This is my list based on who actually makes me laugh, not who I think is the best comic. Because there's a difference.
All right.
Absolutely, there's a difference. We talked about this last night. You couldn't be more right.
Yeah, I mean, because some people, I look at what, if I read it on paper, I would be like, this is stupid.
It's in how they do it.
But when I see it, I can't help. Laugh is an involuntary response.
100%.
You know, I can appreciate, like, Lewis Black is one of my favorite comics. Yeah. I appreciate what he does, but I never laugh.
Okay.
Yes.
Phil Burr, George Carlin, all 3 of those, I never laugh, but I'm like, that's
George.
Smart. I like
this
it.
is why I say George Carlin is a better comedian than Brian Regan, but Brian Regan is funnier than George Carlin.
Right.
And most people would hear that and go, "But I thought that doesn't make sense." It does make sense. If you know, if you're in this business, you know what that means, and it does make sense.
Kind of like monologuing. Some
Yeah.
people are like, the villain is going to monologue why he wants to take out the city.
100%.
Right? Some people just burn it anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that's
Yeah.
so you got your Banes, and then you got your like Lex Luthers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's a different game. Nobody's funnier than Brian Regan, but there are some people that you're not going to say that Brian Regan's better than Richard Pryor. You couldn't. But honestly, end of the day, I think Brian Regan might be funny. Like, Brian Regan's like the funniest human being on the planet. But there's a difference between who's the best. Chris Rock's a better comedian. He's a more legendary comedian. He's a more prescient comedian. Brian Regan is funnier.
I understand that.
Dale Jones, the funniest person on the earth.
Dale Jones has that rubber face thing that Jim Carrey can do.
Right. But those dudes, like, they can be funnier, but sometimes they can't be bad. It's weird. It's just a weird thing.
And that comes back to another question that we'll ask again: is just because this person did it first, you always get compared to it.
That's why
you said earlier, the Babe Ruth, and it's man. Babe Ruth just happened to be there first.
Exactly. And I have a hard time with the Mount Rushmore too, because depending on the day, like what I'm about to tell you could change tomorrow depending on, I see a clip and I go, oh, never mind, I remember that, because I'm such a comedy nerd. Like, if you ask me to rank my favorite Marvel movies right now, I could do it. Then in 5 days, if you ask me to rank my favorite Marvel movies, there might be like 5 indiscrepancies along that, depending on like what day it is when I woke up. Like, some days I wake up going like, man, Ant-Man, what a great standalone. And then the next time I'm just like, but I don't care about anything but Civil War.
But your number one is usually not going to change.
Number one's usually not going to change, no.
And so that's what it is with the top 4 should usually not change.
Yeah.
But
with the Mount Rushmore, it's like, were those my 4 favorite presidents? No, but they were the 4 most important ones. So I'm looking at these. Am I going
at that time?
4 most important comedians in my life, or 4 favorite? Because the favorite sometimes can change depending on your mood. Okay. Like, what do you want to do?
And I feel like
that's gonna affect because I'm gonna go mix it up with who I think is the funniest and makes me actually laugh, whether I like them as a comedian or not.
Right.
Versus, and also most important.
Who is it that makes you laugh? Who makes
Cat Williams?
Cat
Williams. My God, there's no one funnier.
He's murder.
There's no one funnier than
Cat Williams. Cracks me up. I can look at it and be like, that's just silly.
If somebody
he uses the whole stage, like he uses what he's also given up there too.
If I ever met a comedian that told me that they were like, Cat Williams isn't funny, I would tell them to quit stand up. Yeah. You don't know what you're talking about. That this is no longer subjective. You're stupid.
Like, he may get beat up by kids in a soccer game, but that's not what he does on stage.
Doesn't matter. Right.
That's what we're talking about. What you do on stage
doesn't matter.
And we're gonna have to carry this over.
Yeah,
we're gonna pay some bills. We want to come back because I want to know. I gotta get Waylon's. I gotta get Cory's, and I think I'm gonna try to mix it up and not do exactly what you guys did, just for good radio.
Right.
7:41 in the morning. It's Morning After on Knoxville's only alternative, 94Z.
The Morning After with Jake and Tori.
10 minutes until 8 a.m. It is the Morning After on Knoxville's only alternative, 94Z. National Napping Day because they stole an hour from us. Best jokes I heard was, one less hour of rain. That's what we got this weekend.
And it's nice today.
It's going to be a nice day. Yeah. It's already starting off.
Shoot my bow today.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Do you do it through somebody else's yard?
No, it's in my backyard.
So everyone's confused.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it when you see those videos of the Olympic archer athletes when they're training. It's like, well, I just started getting better, and we had to ask the neighbor, and it winds up being like they shoot the arrow through 3 neighbors' yards training. And
I'm at the extent of my yard right now, but I'm not good. Well, I can hit the target, but I don't know where in the target it's going to go.
Oh, well, at least you know you're hitting there.
It's about like my jokes. It's like, I know I'll hit somewhere over there, but I don't know if it's going to hit good.
Right, but that one, that's one that lands.
The whip sound.
That's all you need.
That's all I need.
That's all you
Well,
need.
yeah, that's like the good shot in the golf, right? Like I've
yeah.
Never saying I've actually played a whole round of golf, but I've been to a driving range.
Yeah.
And out of that whole bucket of balls, I hit one really good, and it does feel good. The sound.
Oh, that's it. As an amateur golfer, if you go out and you have that one good shot, you'll remember it for the rest of the year.
I'm still talking about it right now. That's a whole bucket of balls for that one experience.
Doesn't matter. That's all it's about, dude.
We got to continue the Mount Rushmore.
That tuning fork goes off in your loins. That's what they say on Tin Cup.
The Tin Cup, great flick also.
Oh, it's an amazing flick. I watched it 2 days ago.
I always like that one, and then Pushing 10. Like if you had a VHS tape with 2 movies on it, you'd want to have those back to back.
Absolutely. Pushing 10 Cup.
We were talking about our Stool and Mike Mount Rushmore comedians. We wanted to try to also have one that was alive. You can put a group, you can put a single person on there. But like Tori was just saying during the break, it's kind of hard to think about some of these stand-ups that have done so well with movies, because you kind of think of their movie funny and not really their stand-up.
Sure.
But Waylond, we were on you, and you said it's somebody who might make you laugh all the way. So you had Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Because he always makes you laugh.
I can't help but make me laugh. And then my number 2, which is not in any order, it goes with what you were saying about the movies, because I feel like this guy broke that glass window or ceiling as far as like comedians becoming real actors, which is Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, the first one. Tori was like that was his first one out if it was a bracket, but I feel that.
Yeah, because he was a stand-up comedian, then he got a sitcom, and then he got real movies.
He was the prince. He was the prince of comedy.
Yeah,
like the guy could do anything. He was the ultimate entertainer. No human being could. When Robin Williams died, they told Coco at the zoo about it. Coco was his ape buddy that he went to see at the zoo. Robin Williams literally could make this monkey laugh. I'm not kidding. So Coco's wife of like 30 years or something, because like gorillas live forever. It sucks. And so she died, and this monkey wouldn't come out of its cage for nothing, like for nobody. They literally sign language to it and said, "Hey, Robin Williams is here," and this monkey went crazy. Comes out, hangs out with Robin Williams, loves it. When Robin Williams died, the interpreter went in there and told Coco that Robin Williams died, which first off didn't have to do that. Didn't have to do that at all.
Yeah, but he would know.
But they did, and they filmed it, and the gorilla cried.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cruel.
When the gorillas cry.
Because so I can make a crowd of human beings laugh sometimes, and even that's 50-50.
Right.
You know what I mean? Robin Williams could literally go to a zoo and make the animals laugh, because his comedy had nothing to do with words. It was all a feel. He just embodied comedy and embodied exuberance. And
he is the rubber chicken.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is. He's a whoopee cushion. He's all that.
Yeah.
He just was something that was, you'll never see it again in your life. My dad said when Robin Williams died, he called me and he said, "Son, this ain't the same, but this is the closest you'll ever see to what I experienced when Elvis died." It was Elvis. He said, because everyone in the world right now is upset, and the only time I ever saw that was Elvis. And right now everyone's hurting, and they should be, because Robin Williams was a treasure.
He was amazing, and that's a great story. And Tori loves monkeys, so I know he appreciated that one. But the thing that I learned the most from that documentary that made me cry the most,
Come Inside My Mind.
Yes.
Weird name, but
is when they talked about how he changed the game for filming sitcoms.
Yeah.
Like when they were like,
because he was
Did you
wild.
get that? And
they
he
had
said,
to follow
no.
him.
Yeah, it was the first time you put the follow camera on, kind of like how the XFL brought in the Skycam, and now it's used all the time.
Yeah.
So now it went from 3 steady shot cameras to where you had to be on your mark and do your thing to no. Now this guy carries a camera. You're dedicated. Stay on Robin. And some of that stuff they said, the Mork and Mindy, just the outtakes and the watching it live was amazing.
Do you know how he got the role? Do you know how he got the role of Mark? When he went into audition, he goes in and they go, "Are you ready to read?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he got on the couch and stood on his head. And he read his lines on his head, and they were like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, an alien wouldn't know
How to sit on the couch.
How to sit on the couch. And they were like, you got it.
Yeah.
This is it.
You're our
I've never seen anything like
Nanu.
this. Yeah, Nanu. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this.
Man.
Man, look, we've done it again. I mean, Robin could be my number one pick also. When we come back, it'll be 8:15. We're going to continue this. Obviously,
You
it's
just can't have me on the show, dude.
No, we want this all the time. You've said monkeys, right? You talked about how right it is for Bree.
Sidetrack us
You
here.
picked out a great matchup, the Ain't Easy Being Green matchup, Slimer and Yoda. The Battle of the Horns with Batman and Optimus. It's been a great Monday. What a way to start off Week 12. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to be right back. 8:15. Get the check on traffic, weather. We're going to rock out to some music, and we'll see you back here on Knoxville's only alternative, 94Z.
You're listening to The Morning After on 94Z.
8:13 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
8:13 in the morning.
Monday.
8:13 in the morning.
What is it?
Oh, my goodness. It is Week 12, Monday. We are starting a little bit earlier because of the time
I
change.
don't believe in it.
National Napping Day. Anybody going to take a nap with their extra hour they feel like they got today?
Yeah.
I did myself a favor. As soon as I left out of the Captain Marvel movie on Friday, I went ahead and put it an hour ahead on my Jeep clock.
You may as well.
So I went ahead. I was already ready on Friday. And,
Yeah.
and since the movie started an hour late, I was like, okay, so we're right on time.
Yeah, where I'm from, it's still 1963. So it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So this doesn't affect me at all, Ben Franklin.
Cory Forrester from the Well-Read Comedy Group, and he is from Chickamauga, Georgia. That's why he said that. The Chickamauga Chase, the race that we go down to like all the time down there. But the folks also big reenactors in our family. The boy is a huge reenactor, so he goes down to your hometown a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So you're joining us here in the Slam Dot Studios along with Monday, Waylond Whiskey.
Yeah.
You'll have your top 10 here for us in a little bit. We've been talking about the Mount Rushmore of comedy, but it's been carrying over so much, and it just basically turned into a who's great at comedy conversation
sure.
anyway. So I wanted to bring up something that's near and dear to Cory's heart, and that is, of course, sneakers.
Oh, that's what we're doing now?
Yeah,
I'm not giving my Mount Rushmore? Okay.
No, because we'll come back to it.
Sure, okay.
We'll come back to it
Sure.
because I wanted to talk about, we said they should never gave you money.
They should not have ever given me money. My God.
I heard the very first thing was...
They said about Johnny Paycheck, there's nothing worse with a hillbilly with a hit record, and that's what I'm going to name my first boat.
Oh, the whole reason to get the boat is get the Bass Boat paint job.
That's what I'm saying. I'll never be on it. I'm just going to put it in the yard. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want it, come through.
Just we have a pontoon party on the grass.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get on it.
I like that.
Yeah, that's where I keep my beer. It's out on the boat.
That is hilarious.
It's gonna
that's
happen.
What you would do. Well, you're a sneaker freak. You went out and bought 99 pairs of Jordans when they gave you your first paycheck.
I mean, no, it wasn't when I first got my first paycheck. When we first got our first paycheck, I was still blown away that I didn't understand that this was happening. Right. So I was very careful. The first big purchase I made was a bed. Like, I didn't have a bed.
Wow.
So I went, and me and my girlfriend
Great
at the time,
thing for a touring comic to buy a bed.
Yeah,
Smart money.
To this day, I've slept on it 20 times. You know what I'm saying? But it's a nice bed. My wife likes it.
Yeah, memory foam still remembers me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the only thing in the house that does. But yes, no. So it was about a year and a half into the tour. We were in Chicago, and so we're there, and like we're a very win and roam group.
Right.
Like, if we're where there's good pasta, we're eating pasta. We're doing all that stuff. So we're in Chicago, and everybody's like, "Oh, Chicago, we gotta go get deep dish pizza."
You mean
but
lasagna?
It is for sure. Whatever, or sausage, whatever you do in Chicago.
Right.
But I was having, me, I'm a very self-conscious, like, neurotic dude. I was having one of them weeks where, like, I was just
Comedian.
down. Yeah. I was having one of them weeks where I was very down on myself, and, like, I wasn't allowing myself any carbs because I felt fat, and I wanted to, like, I was bloated. So I was like, no, I'm not getting deep dish pizza. I was like, but I do want to do something that's very Chicago. I want to treat myself. And I was like, what can I do? And I go, oh, dude, there's a Jordan store here. I know that.
Okay.
By the way, I wasn't into sneakers even a little bit at all. Didn't care. I was a boot.
Really? This wasn't a sneaker freak thing
Nope.
that
He was
held
a boot
over?
guy.
Not at all. I was a boot guy. I didn't care about sneakers, but I was like, whatever. I'll go look. I'll see. I might buy a pair of tennis shoes just to wear home. I get there and I go in the store, and as soon as I walk in, I see this pair of high top blue and white with the black check, and I was like, oh my god, that looks good. And I was like, I think those are the first ones. I remember Jordan wearing like in like '88 or whatever. Like that's the ones he. Okay, I look and I'm like, these are gonna be like very expensive. Right. They're like $99, which I mean that's a high price for shoe, but like not what I was thinking. Right. And I'm going to treat myself. We just sold out 2 shows at Talia Hall in Chicago. I can afford it. I'm in. So I buy the shoes. I go to the theater. I'm wearing them. I'm going to wear these on stage. I didn't realize not my manager, but my agent had surprised us. He flew in from California to meet us in Chicago to congratulate us on selling out 2 theater shows. He takes one look at me, looks at my feet, and he goes, dude, no. And I was like, what? And he goes, the shoes. Are you serious right now? And I go, well, are these not? And I don't know. I go, are these not cool? I have no idea. He goes, no, those are very dope. Those are Jordan 1s. Those are OG Jordan 1s. Those are very cool. I go, what's the problem then? He goes, don't do it, Cory. Don't do it. Don't do what every comedian does, and as soon as they get a little bit of money, they turn into a sneakerhead. I've never heard that term in my life. Never heard the term. I go, sneakerhead? He goes, yeah, that's what every comedian does. They get a little bit of money, and they start buying shoes. Don't you dare do that. And the redneck side of me came out, and I was just like,
don't tell me I can't.
Oh, don't do that. I didn't care about shoes before he said that, and right now I have a rack in my office of exclusively just Jordan 1s. I got 3s and 5s and 4s too, but I got one just 1s, and every time I buy a new pair, I take a picture of that rack and send it to my agent and go, Chicago, what's up, dog? You know what I mean?
See, that's what happens with most celebrities, but it's cocaine.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, don't tell me what to do. So
look,
yeah,
I got changed the laces out and everything.
I got into them, but at the same time, I go on stage every night, and your appearance is part of the whole thing.
Right.
And when people are taking pictures after the meet and greet, I like to have on a different pair every now and then. It looks fresh. I do write them off on my taxes. I will get caught doing that, but I don't care.
Well, at least you're not saying it on the radio.
Who cares? Dude, have you heard a rapper's song? You know what I mean? Doug Stanhope used to write off cigarettes. He didn't get caught for 15 years. I'm good. I'll be dead by then. It's okay.
Well, let's hope not. Yeah. And it's a good thing you did lay off the carbs. You actually look really great. Like, you've lost a lot of weight, and you don't look like that, like a chemo patient.
I fluctuate. Yeah, because I grew some facial hair.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good.
I didn't know I could do it, and then I just tried.
Very jealous of the stash. You definitely look like a firefighter from the 1902.
Thank you so much. That's the biggest compliment I've ever got.
It looks great.
Like the guy that holds up his hands like this when he's going to fight.
Ollie.
Put up your dude.
Ollie.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Batting 305 this year.
Oh, yeah.
Man, but I saw where they've got the shoes. What do they call them? The Nike Mag Back to the Future sneakers.
Yeah, the Marty McFly
The
strap
Marty
ups.
McFly Power Lace Light Up sneakers. Mm-hmm. Is that on your list?
I mean, here's the deal, man. I know what the price they are. They are on my list of first off, Nike, come holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm already.
You've already said their name 3 times.
Yeah, they don't need. Yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, I know I would rock them because my favorite type of sneaker is a high top, and those are the most high top that you can get. Those are my thing with shoes. I like the most ridiculous thing for the most part that you can get. I like people to look at me and go, "Why would you do that?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Any pair of shoes, I'll take a picture of the shoes. I'll send it to my wife, and she goes, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "I'm buying 2 of these."
Now
you know what I mean?
Said that.
Yeah, I like to make a statement. I like to be a bold man. I like to walk in. I like for people to look at me and go, "If he's wearing those, he must think he's something," and they're right.
They're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Any man that would wear that, everybody knows he's not afraid of anything.
No, he's not afraid of anything. He does something that I want to learn about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. That's what Elvis did, son. Wear chains and have a daggum pistol in your shoe.
Puts it out there.
Yeah.
I can't
Put
wait
him on the glass. That's what I say.
What is it? The I'm Gonna Get You Sucker when the guy had the aquarium platforms?
Yeah.
I can't wait till you have those kind of those
I'll
sneakers.
get them.
My buddy, he was kind of a sneaker freak growing up. He's passed away now, but and a skater. So Airwalk was his
and the SB
Jordan.
Dunks. Yeah, I got some of
And
those.
so there was an article that came out in one of the old skate magazines to it when he was younger, and it was for Airwalk, and it had a red and a blue sneaker.
Yeah.
So he was thinking that the shoes came red and blue. Well, of course not. So he bought 2 pairs, and then was so upset because he was like, they lasted so long. You got 2 pairs and you're wearing a mix and match. So by the time you switched it up and you had the red and blue on the left and right foot, he was like, I was so over it.
Yeah,
I was so over it. So I can imagine where having a bunch of sneakers comes in. And you do look pretty good.
No, I like it because it's the first time in my life, since I got that check, it's the first time in my life I don't have one pair of shoes that stank. You know what I'm saying? Because I wear.
Hey, that's money. That's money right there. That's life changing money.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I can wear a different pair of shoes almost every day, and I put them up, and then they don't stink.
Be like, look,
and they're clean, dude.
Look, honey, I'm not getting to sleep in the bed. I should at least get to walk on a mattress.
You see these? You see these right here that I got on, Jay James?
Oh yeah, the high top version of my shoe.
I've had these for 2 years, and I've never even cleaned them. Look how clean they are, even though I've never cleaned them. Because I wear them on stage and to come see you.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? They stay in the box.
Yeah, he don't wear the Jordan 1s to come see.
These are the Jordan 1s. These are ones.
I know.
The gray ones. These are my funeral shoes.
It's the high top version of me.
I know.
I got to rock like you do.
Yeah.
I try to be like you this weekend.
Yeah.
Hanging out. Bijou birthday weekend. 110 years old. Well-read comedy tour in town. That's why we're getting to visit with Cory Forrester. It was amazing. Inspiring is what I've told Waylond.
Yeah. Here's how great it was. I haven't been to bed yet.
Right. And nobody would know.
No.
Nobody
I'm
would.
on fire.
But yeah, I told Waylond after we saw you, I'm on a 5-year plan. We're gonna have to do something because we got to keep up with these boys. I won't have sneaker money, right? I want to have no stinky shoe money. Tori, we're ready for it. Let's get a check on traffic and weather. We come back. We've got Waylond's Top 10 because it is Monday here in the Slammed Out Studios on Knoxville's only alternative 94Z.
It's the Morning After on 94Z.
8:30 in the morning. It's the Morning After on 94Z, and it is a Monday. We're hanging out with Waylond Whiskey, and that means we've got Waylond's Top 10. Waylond, what do you got for us today?
We'll run right into this. You know, this is in today's day and age, you get too much information about stuff.
Right.
Like, there's certain things I don't want to know.
Boy, do I hate to learn.
I don't want to know it. I want to keep my illusions. You know, like a lot of our celebrities, a lot of our icons, is like we find out they're just crap people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know. So these are the top 10 things or people I don't want to know the truth about.
Roger that.
Don't tell me. Number 10, Tom Hanks.
Agreed.
Wait,
Tom Hanks is a treasure.
Yeah, it better not be nothing wrong about Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I don't care if he shoots cats out of catapults into fire. I don't care. I don't care if he like punts puppies. I mean, I don't like cats either. But you know, you don't want anyone being mean to animals. That would affect me.
Yes.
Yeah. Tom Hanks is too perfect. Like I want him to be the next president.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'll take
that. Tom Hanks.
I guess he could be.
He could be.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, if he just I'm running, he wouldn't even need to like a super PAC or nothing. He's winning.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah,
it's already there.
I hope he wears shoes that say Andy on the bottom of them.
Mm-hmm. He'd still be able to pull it.
Nike Cortezes. That's what he wore in Forrest Gump.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Sneaker freak.
Number 9, cheese. Don't tell me how cheese is made.
Please no.
Don't you tell me that they just let milk sit for a while and put dumb stuff in it and at the different ways they'll let. No, I don't want to know that it's rotten milk. I don't want to know truth.
The only thing I want
don't tell me anything about cheese, just that it melts.
The only thing I want to know about cheese and how to make it is if you can make it once the zombie apocalypse comes, and I'll keep you alive because I'm gonna need some cheese.
That's what's up.
Yeah, if you left me in the woods, I'm never making cheese. I don't understand. I'm not going to understand that.
Yeah, but if somebody did know how to
someone
make
else
it,
invented cheese. Just put it on my plate.
Just give it to me.
I don't want to know the truth about cheese.
In the apocalypse, that person gets to be president.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 8, The Rock.
The Rock.
I don't care if he sings in a Florida Georgia Line cover band on the side. I don't care. I don't want anyone to mess up The Rock for me. He's a perfect human.
And The Rock wants you to be perfect human.
And if he wants to be president next, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
The Rock Obama.
The Rock Obama. I love it. Mm-hmm. We need that's his 3rd term.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't want to know the truth about The Rock.
Right.
Number 7, McDonald's McRib. I don't want to know that they couldn't do that all the time.
Garbage sandwich.
Mm.
Yeah, it's basically it's just compacted formed pork mess that it must have. There has to be farms of that special pig that are only in season in the fall or something. Pig. Otherwise, why wouldn't they just give it to us all the time? I understand marketing. I don't want to hear that. I want to know that there's a reason that they wouldn't manipulate me like that.
It's what happened to the dodo bird.
Yeah.
6, Cheetos. I don't want to know how Cheetos are made.
Well,
I want to think that there's fields in Georgia somewhere where there's like little Cheeto plants, and people are going out like probably Trump supporters and picking those Cheetos.
But that's not.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
I want to let you know. Okay.
Number 5, Willie Nelson. Don't tell me anything like he's got a drug problem. I'm sure he's perfect. He's just a folk hero.
Here's the deal. With Willie Nelson, we would know by now because this is a pot-smoking
Don't tell me the truth.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I'm saying
it's Willie.
He would have told. He would have told you by now.
He is the redheaded stranger, and that's the way he will stay.
That's the way he will stay. Number 4, Don't tell me how Skittles are made. I want to think they're made from rainbows.
Well, actually, they really are made from rainbows.
Don't tell me the truth.
No, it's actually true.
It's actually true. 100%.
I want to know. I don't want to know how Skittles are made. Hot dogs.
There you go.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I love hot dogs. I was raised on hot dogs.
But actually,
don't tell me.
Okay.
So I was told how hot dogs are made, and somebody was like, "Hey man, you know that's made out of like pig butthole."
No.
And I was like, "Oh, guess what I like? I like pig butthole."
Yeah, I guess I do. I guess that makes me.
Actually, I guess that's one where I do know. I just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't.
So that makes me a vegetarian.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't tell me that wrestling isn't real.
Oh no!
Right.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me that that's not really Ric Flair's hair.
Well, that's so stupid. Nobody's ever said The Young and the Restless isn't real.
That's exactly right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, it's
And
not
they
real.
don't even have to fall.
Don't tell me this stuff.
We all know what's going on. They're getting at they're really getting hit in the head with a chair. I know that they knew they was getting hit in the head with a chair, but if you
didn't know,
if you know you're getting hit with the head with a chair, or if you don't know, you still are getting hit in the head with a chair.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, I would think that knowing you're getting hit in the head with a chair is worse.
It's like sitting in the doctor's office knowing you're about to get that exam.
It's coming.
You know it's coming.
Yeah,
That's
Mr.
why I'm
Sacco
cold.
right up there.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm cold on this exam table.
Yeah.
With my feet hangling and dangling. I know what's going to happen.
Number one,
Don't
tell me any truth that I don't already love about Dolly Parton.
Whoa,
There you go.
that is
Don't
true.
tell me.
Yo, what's up right
he's,
here?
he's rocking the shirt right now.
Got a Dolly Parton
Hey,
shirt
You know,
on.
Trey's got the Dolly Parton tattoo. You know, I mean, it's.
No, she's the queen.
Don't
man.
tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that like the reason the Mandrell sisters disappeared is because she's got them in a dungeon. Don't tell me that she was the one that whispered into the Dixie Chicks' ears to say something about Bush those days, and we still don't get the Dixie Chicks to this day. Don't tell me any of that truth about Dolly Parton. I don't want to know. I just want to know that Dolly Parton makes biscuits fluffy
And screaming
by her
eagles.
existence.
Has
Yes.
a magical third boob.
I feel like Dolly could walk out and like bald eagles come and land on her shoulder. And like
She
sends
created
a
the bald
raven.
eagle.
She
I've
don't
seen her
call
live.
nobody.
It was magical.
It's
And there
beautiful.
wasn't a bald eagle, but I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's never.
She's made from bald eagle.
And even if you knew something bad, don't utter it.
Just don't
around
tell
us.
me.
Yeah, never.
Don't know. I don't want to know.
Man,
list.
top 10 things.
Because on the
you
morning
don't wanna-
after,
we
don't
don't
know.
know. 8:36 in the morning, Waylond. Thank you again for your top 10. Let's get a check on traffic and weather from Knoxville's new, true, and only alternative. 95.8.
The Morning After with Jake and Tori.
That's right, 8:46 in the morning. It is the morning after with Jake James and Tori, the Nature Barley. And Monday, so we're hanging out with Waylond Whiskey. Just dropped his top 10 on us. And we also are getting a visit with Cory Forrester from the Well-Read Comedy Tour. They were just in town. 2 sold-out shows at the Bijou. And also a podcast recording that we were trying to get for the Big Brothers Big Sisters. But when you deal with management, you know how management be.
But it don't. Right.
So we no holds barred, no bad
It's
feelings
really
about
hard
that.
to get me.
Yeah.
I'm a big get.
Yeah, I
nowadays.
know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I had you,
I'm over. I'm real over right now.
yeah, everybody loves it.
No one listening to this knows who I am at all, and I sound like the biggest butthead in the world.
Well, no, you were a headliner for the Comedy Carnival when we were doing it for
That is
raising money for the Friends of Literacy.
That is true, and I'll do it again.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to do that for Big Brother. I might get you back up here.
I'm in, baby. You know
get
me.
some Jen Snyder also. with you.
Anything for. Oh my God, I love Jen Snyder.
She's a crusher.
We had her on our Nashville show a year ago, and she just absolutely destroyed. I had to follow her, I think, and it was insanely tough.
Yeah, that's why.
And you know me, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
And it was very hard.
I bet. Well, earlier we were talking about on our Mount Rushmore. We haven't gotten it out there, and so we were at Waylond. You've said Robin Williams and Cat Williams.
Robin Williams, Cat Williams.
You got all the Williams sisters. Mm-hmm. So Robin and Cat.
Next, I'm gonna go Gilda Radner.
Gilda Radner.
Oh, yeah.
Hit her right there.
I'm gonna go Gilda Radner. She broke a lot of doors wide open, and she was just I mean, more. I followed her more in her SNL stuff,
Sure.
but she was outstanding. And then to close it out, because I want to get on to Corey's,
right?
Richard Pryor.
Richard
Okay.
Pryor.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Pryor seems to be like he's going to carry over. Like if we all had little red lines to our craziness, he's going to be on there.
I mean, just as a kid, all the way. I can watch it again now, and it's dated,
undeniable.
sure, but it makes me laugh.
He's
I can't-
undeniable.
And
Yeah.
Cory, I tell you what, I just now got a message that says, tell Cory that these two ladies that were in the box right there to the left in the Lincoln seats.
In the Lincoln seats, yeah.
They said that they're your biggest fans ever. Bunch of A's after that, ever.
Thank you, girl.
So Thank you, Melina.
Thank you, Melina. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's very awesome right there. So who's on your Rushmore, buddy?
Okay, so me and you kind of started talking about this last night, and whenever I have this conversation, I always omit Carlin and Pryor because that just, we know that
right
at this point, and I can't do it anymore. I can't have those two spots taken up. They're just on there, whatever. Right. For me, in terms
we know
of,
ice cream's cold.
Yeah, and like I said, this isn't necessarily who I think is the best, or this is the ones that were the most important to me. So yeah, on my Mount Rushmore that has laid the foundation for my comedy career, it is this. It is number one, Jeff Foxworthy. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes we get told on the Well-Read Comedy Tour, you guys are like the complete opposite of the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. That's an insult to me.
Right.
That is, no, Jeff Foxworthy is a god. Jeff Foxworthy is one of the best joke writers of all time, and I will have nobody say an ill word about him in front of me. He's amazing. Then it's Jerry Seinfeld, because Jerry Seinfeld to me is like the Mickey Mouse of comedy in terms of, he just seems like the mascot for comedy. When I hear stand-up, when I hear the word stand-up comedian, I go, oh, Jerry Seinfeld, that's what he is. He's the prototype for that. Foxworthy, Seinfeld, Dave Chappelle. You just can't get better than Chappelle for me. Mm-hmm. Almost. It's amazing. And one that not a lot of people are going to know, and rest in peace, pour one out. First off, Tim Wilson. Tim Wilson was amazing. Tim Wilson. And I know there's a lot of listeners out here that knew Tim because he was very big in the Knoxville area, went to Side Splitters all the time. It didn't get live at a comedy club. There was no one. I called him the pro. Like, Tim Wilson was the pro. No one did it better. No one. He was the first show I ever saw. I was 14 years old. I snuck into a club. My buddy was 16. He could drive. We just went up and just hoped that they wouldn't ID us, and they didn't. And I saw Tim. I knew I'd already wanted to do stand-up because I knew I wanted to do stand-up at 5. But when I saw him when I was 14, I really understood, oh my God, I'm going to really need to dig in and work. Yeah, because this guy's amazing. And then years and years later, I actually got to open for Tim several times, write jokes with Tim, hang out with Tim, and then he passed away, and it was, probably the saddest day in my comedy career. But those dudes, that's my Mount Rushmore of dudes who are the reason that
and his talent knew no bounds, right? He sang also.
Unreal.
Right, like he doesn't just get out there and, he's a performer.
He was a performer. He was a writer. He also was an investigative journalist. Mm-hmm. He was. He wrote, him and Roger Keese, my buddy Roger Keese from Chattanooga, also a comedian. They wrote a book on this unsolved Ted Bundy murder. That there was like this murder in South Georgia that for years everybody had said, like, we're pretty sure that was Bundy, that fit his MO, and they went and investigated it themselves and have like their own like.
You got to be really bad at murdering if a comedian track you down.
Yeah. Well,
like, that's how unbusy comedians are during the day.
Yeah.
Waiting on that 1 hour of work at night. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? Let's catch us some murder. All right, Batman, let's go.
Would you like to know? This is before I have to stop talking. My favorite bit of Tim Wilson trivia is that not only is he my favorite comedian of all time, on 3 of his albums, Levon Helm played drums. Levon Helm, of course, from the band, one of the greatest bands of all time. That's how great Tim Wilson was, that Levon Helm wanted to play drums on his comedy albums.
What does he rate on your favorite drummer? Toys R Drummer?
What, Levant Helm?
Yeah.
Right on?
Oh, he's right up. As far as a singer goes, singer-drummer, he's right at the top.
Amazing.
So, of your 3, because we know Bonham's your fave, right?
Yeah, like I said, singing drummers that actually took the lead mic. There's him and
Collins.
Number 1, pretty much.
Wow. So
as far as singing drummers,
and that's from Tori. He know.
Buddy, hey.
Like when it comes to Morning After and drumming, Tori knows.
I don't know a lot about drumming, but I know a lot about Levon Helm, and like it hardly gets better as an American than Levon Helm. Like, that's just the dude.
Very Americana.
Right.
That's awesome.
He's just the dude.
Wow, it's like you said, man. Not a lot of people would know that, but definitely Tim Wilson is one of those ones that mind blowing. And the fact that you got to open for him, that's very cool.
It was the best. It's still to this day the best moment of my life. The first time I found out I was getting to work with Tim, I cried because like he was the dude that got me into it. Like,
at your wedding, I got to meet Dale Jones.
That's true.
I got up off the floor to be like, oh my God, hey, do you know that you're Dale Jones?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and here's the thing about Dale Jones, he doesn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was weird. I was like, no, you're Dale Jones.
Dale's been my buddy for like 10. I've been opening for him like 10 years, and I have to tell him all the time, like, dude, you understand? Like, we are friends. Like, and it's way past just buddies that do comedy together. Like, we're best of friends. But
he was at your wedding.
But I was like, you don't understand. Like, you're great. And I like you inspire me every day. He's like, well, I'm just trying to be as good as I can be. I'm like, but he doesn't, and that's why he's so great.
Right.
He's the most humble dude in the world. He doesn't care. Dale Jones doesn't care if his name is ever in some marquee. He just wants to sit there and write his really good jokes and go up and try his really good jokes and talk to his buddies.
Dale Jones, to me, when I think of him, before I met him, like at your wedding in person, and very much embarrassed myself.
No, you didn't.
Luckily, I didn't.
You literally crushed my wedding.
I did not act that way at Bonnaroo, but I saw Dale Jones.
You crushed my wedding so hard you didn't embarrass yourself.
I was like, and I even came up to him during a slow song, and I was so happy for him because him and his wife are just in love. They're not just married. They're not just dating. They are in love. Every chance there was to do a slow song, they were out there together, like the perfect wedding couple. Anyway,
I was at their wedding, and it was at a comedy club, and it was the best wedding I've ever been to. Spanky Brown, also rest in peace, was the reverend at that wedding, and it was amazing.
Tori, that's how big Dale Jones is. But when you think about him, when we were growing up, when you wind up staying up late after Saturday Night Live, when you see that Gotham or 2-drink minimum, those comedy shows that had the 3 people on them, Dale Jones, 9 times out of 10, was that middle comedian that you're like, I love that. Who was that? That was Dale Jones. That was Dale Jones. All right, my Mount Rushmore, real fast before we got to get out of here, Tori. All right, I've got Jerry Clower.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Jackie Torrance.
Okay.
I've got Tiffany Haddish, Jen Snyder. I've got, obviously, Robin.
I don't think you know how many people are on Mount Rushmore, but I love it. Go ahead.
But, you know, with Tori went first.
Numbers work. It's
and
okay.
I'll take the other guy from your group, that blue collar, the Here's Your Sign dude.
Bill Engvall?
Bill Engvall. That Here's
You're
Your
ribbing.
Sign.
This is a rib.
No. That joke changed. Like, when we heard that on the tapes, that blew my mind. Because you can say it almost all the time still, like, here's your sign. But, Cory, you want to do it?
Yeah, I was talking about, he was talking about he purchased a mattress.
Yeah, that was your first big purchase.
Is a mattress.
You got a mattress. The memory foam remembers you, but nobody else at the house does.
That's true.
The dog and the wife are very happy on it. You only
100%.
slept for, 20 nights on it.
Yeah.
Tori and I want to make sure that you didn't buy it from this place, right, Tori?
Yeah.
All right, so here it is. Make sure you never buy your mattress from here.
Okay.
Are you searching for a nice broken-in mattress? Tired of new hard mattresses? Well, then cram your family in the old minivan and come on down to Used Mattress Outlet. That's Used Mattress Outlet, where we say the bigger the stain, the better the deal. Used Mattress Outlet searches the city, interstates, and back roads over to bring you the best used mattresses at the best used mattress prices. Motel 6, Econo Lodge, Jimmy's 1 Hour Love Shed, Peter's Pleasure Palace, and the local homeless shelter are just some of our fine suppliers. All of our used mattresses guaranteed to be somewhat bed-bug-free. So you can rest assured your next night of sleep could be relatively pest-free. Come in now and play Guess the Stain for a 25% discount on your next used mattress. Pick your used mattress, guess what the stain originally was and where it came from, and save big on your used mattress. Come on down for our huge Labor Day sale where all of our fecal-stained used mattresses are half off. That's right, a little poo, and it's half off for you. Only at Used Mattress Outlet, located in the little ran-down building just before you pull into the city dump, right there on the left. Don't mind the dog. Used Mattress Outlet, where the bigger the stain, the better the deal.
You're listening to The Morning After on 94Z.
9:14 in the morning. 9:14 in the morning.
On Monday.
9:14 in the morning.
Sunny Monday.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. We got the blinds closed, the intergalactic Cadillac, known as the Slam Dot Studios, and we are getting to hang out with not only Tori the Nature Boy Lee, who's with us every weekday from 6 to that magical hour of 10 a.m., because he's the greatest producer in all of radio history. It's Monday, so Waylond Whiskey's here.
Yes.
Already dropped the top 10 on us.
That.
Very lucky to have you.
So lucky.
Always thanks again. And then from the Well-Read Comedy Tour, we got him to stay up after the show and a long meet and greet. A lot of people there to see you. Cory Forrester.
What's up?
Chickamauga's
Yeah.
#1 son.
It's like the Navy SEAL of comedy. You don't sleep. You don't sleep.
No, I don't.
Hey, sleeps for the week.
Heard that.
Put a little bit more week in your pocket. You were just talking about how you wanted to try to take a nap before we went out and go see this movie.
Oh, I'm not. I'm gonna have to.
And I feel like I want to be like, nah, you're going to get a little Jake James because, like, if I get to give you a ride back downtown, I'm definitely playing Papaw and going to go around to all the hardware stores and show off my grandkid.
Don't it just smell good in here?
Look at my grand boy. He's so big and famous now. I love him.
Look at him over there asleep on that desk.
He's just hard at work right there, sawing a lot. So no, I got to show you off a few places before I let you get back to your hotel.
That's okay.
I got
2 hotels.
I got you.
So
Oh my God! In case you don't remember where you stay, Got a key for each one.
I do. Yeah,
that's nice.
Don't land on boardwalk.
All right, well, Cory, you're new to the show. You got to hang out with us today. What we like to do here at 9:15 is we get these emails from our listeners, and we like to try to Dr. Fill them up or Dr. Lee them up.
I like that, Dr. Fill them up.
Right.
That's a great podcast name for a Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Look, has someone in the industry touched you that you don't want to? Dr. Fill them up. That's my Dr. Phil. It's very close to my Trey Crowder impression.
About the same.
To do a Trey Crowder impression, you have to first do a Dr. Phil and then give Dr. Phil a sinus infection. So you go, look, Jenny, you're not a monster. That's Dr. Phil and Mr. Mackey. And then you give him a sinus infection, and then you're just like, look, man, okay, listen here. So what about taxes? That's what we're going to talk about right now, tax? Okay, that's Trey.
Yeah, I love the startup. Wait.
What? Hold up now. Hold up. What?
And especially last night we were talking about the comedians at the table. It was like I'd say something to him and he'd be like, hold on a second. Let me just see what Cory gonna say first. And I was like, don't get your army to answer for you like that.
I love Trey, but I'm not always a homer on all his stuff. Like, we'll butt heads on some stuff. I'll let him know.
That's what makes a good partnership.
I'll let him know when something's up. But now the thing is, most of the time we do just agree, so it seems like I'm homering, but we just got the same opinion. But sometimes I'm like, no, you wrong on that one, dog.
Well, see, that's where the communication comes in, and that's key to our emails. And I just learned that the top line is the subject line not too long ago. So the subject is, he tries to figure out the movie instead of watching it, and it's from Meredith. So it says, trying to sit and enjoy a movie with my husband is next to impossible. I get it. I'm a guy. I understand that one. Throughout the entire hour and a half or longer, he keeps trying to guess the outcome or the plot or figure out what's coming next, and he does not do this quietly. He does it out loud. And then he keeps asking me questions like, who is that character? What is this scene about?
My God.
As if he wrote the damn screenplay. I love the guy, but he can't. He just chill out and watch a movie like a normal person. Signed, Meredith.
Well, first off, Meredith's boy, whoever this guy is
her husband.
Mary. Are they already married?
They're already married.
Well, then
you knew what you were getting into. That's what we say a lot.
Well, what I say is he should be happy. This is the only woman ever didn't want to talk.
Then, this is usually a reverse email.
Yeah, I mean,
my wife is exactly like that person that is described. Like, we will be 45 minutes into a movie, and she'll look up and go, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "Jason Bourne, the main character. That's guy. Matt Damon. What are you talking about?" She's like, "Oh, I guess I must have missed something. Like, the whole first half of the movie." I'm sorry.
Like where they introduced the character, said his name a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Who's that? Candyman. Don't say it too many times.
And I don't know if it's like I'm a comedian and I write scripts and stuff, so I'm constantly poking it. But I can't, when I see somebody not appreciating a film or something the way I'm appreciating it, and I'm having to get better about this, I can't stand it.
Right.
I'm sitting there, somebody will go, they'll get up and I'll go, oh, let me pause it. Oh, no, you don't have to pause it. I'm just going to the bathroom real quick. I go, I do have to pause it. They go, I won't miss much. And I'm like, you're going to miss something, and the person that wrote this wanted you to see that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put it in the movie. You know what I'm saying? If you were listening to the song and you missed one line, a song's only 2.5 minutes long. If you miss one line, you might miss what that movie's about. The song's about. If you're listening to Poncho and Lefty and you miss one line, you may not understand that, oh my God, did Poncho shoot him?
Right.
I had no idea, because you had to go to the bathroom and you couldn't pause something like an adult and appreciate art. I'm not with it, Meredith. Divorce him.
And Meredith, I'll be quiet during Game of Thrones. I can be Game of Thrones quiet.
Yeah.
So I know how, and plus I love movies. We talked about that earlier, like seeing them in the theater. I don't mind you talking during the previews, but we all get to respect it.
That's so hilarious that just happened.
Well, it happens when I have a good idea like that.
Yeah.
Just music just comes off.
That's
That was the Angels on Choir singing to praise your exact answer. Tori, you've had this problem before. What do you think about it?
Well, I am guilty sometimes of, like, if I see a plot coming or anything, I'll kind of point it out, but I try to do it in a way to where it's like, okay, this is about to happen, and it's like that quick.
Right.
You don't miss anything. It's just me being a smart aleck
right.
and trying to figure out what's coming up next. But as far as talking and everything and constantly talking, no, man, you can't do that. And that's something that I kind of have to deal with every once in a while. But it's not like who's that or anything. It's like, ooh, look at those curtains in this scene, right. or look at something that's on the set, and Mama Lee kind of goes off on she respects the things that's in the background and notices and points them out during the movie. But I'm like, okay, now I got to rewind what I just watched because you were telling me how pretty the curtains were, and I just totally missed what he just said.
Yeah.
Everything is important in a film.
Yeah, it is.
Every single thing. Here's why. Because they only have the budget to do so many things. And I know how much my scripts that I've written have been chopped up for something. If something's up there, it means it got past it. Like, it needs to be in there. Because if it didn't need to be in there, they'd take it out to save money. So if it's in there, it needs to be in there. There are certain, like, I call them PP scenes, where you see a movie a bunch of times, you're like, all right, in this one, it doesn't really progress the plot that much. However, if you're going to watch a movie.
Right.
Or don't. Or let's hang out. If you want to just hang out and talk, let's put on something we've seen before a lot.
And
that
then
way
we can talk over.
We can talk over it and then go back. And then, but if we're trying to watch,
I like this scene. Hold on. Right.
Dude,
yeah, that's the way.
literally, it's one of my biggest pet peeves, and I will become the biggest jerk in the room. And everybody will, because you know me, most of the time I'm cool. Everybody loves me in the room. If people aren't respecting a work of art of any kind, I become the biggest. Can you say douchebag?
No,
Okay.
don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay. I become that dude.
Jerk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A jerk. I become a jerk.
Well, because you want them to appreciate it.
Yeah, because that's what. And I don't want to be the dude that 2 hours later is having to go, what are you talking about? They go into the people's brains while they're asleep. What do you not get about this? And then they make them go to sleep, and then they're in their dreams.
He was blind the whole time.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Why are you watching this? Just go listen to
Well,
beat.
Tori and I butt heads sometimes of a different part of the movie. It's like, I want him to see something that I like.
Yeah, and you're like, waiting.
And you're like, did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? So that's a little bit different. But, and then one time, you finally saw Usual Suspects, but like 30 years later. And he's like, oh, I figured out who the guy was all the time. I'm like, yeah, because it's now been a joke for the last 30 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easier to figure it out once the whole world
Everybody knows the most famous name, Kaiser Soze.
Yeah, you've heard it a little bit over and over now. Even if you've never seen it, it's in your brain.
It's like the movie, well, which one is I See Dead People?
Yeah.
See, I've never seen it, but I know the plot already is, so it would ruin it. It wouldn't be worth watching. But I've never seen it.
It actually still would.
It would.
The thing about a good movie is that even if you take the suspense away, if the story structure is still good, it's still going to be. I mean, yeah, that
You've
does
watched
suck.
Fight Club more than once.
Titanic's
you're right.
That's true.
That does suck, but you still will like the movie. Like, it won't be as good as when we were all just like, "Oh, word."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
no wonder nobody looks at it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
exactly. I can't believe nobody was like, "Is that Bruce Willis?" You know what I mean? But like, yeah, but it's still a great movie.
So I guess Meredith, just tell him to shut up and watch the movie.
Divorce him.
Or at least be like,
kill him in his sleep.
You need to go down to the community college and take a movie class if you want to figure out how to be the screenwriter.
Yeah.
A little bit of Raiders was on the other day over at the folks' house, and it's the scene where they're trying to talk about the Ark, and he's at the school. And just some of the shots, like, why did they bring it down like this? Or JJ with his light flares.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every little bit is trying to tell their thing. Like, that's
what I'm
their
saying.
setup, punchline, and joke.
Yes.
And so I appreciate the fact that you're like, no, this is art, and you should-
wouldn't skip 5 pages of a book.
No, but I have watched Empire so much that if you skip all the Luke scenes past Hoth, it's basically Guardians 1.0.
Okay.
Yeah,
word.
it's pretty cool.
Okay, word.
9:23, Meredith, you need to talk about it because communication is always the key. We'll be right back here with your bottom of the night sports on the Morning After on 94Z.
I done wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail.
Hello again, everyone. It's good to have you with us for this event.
It's the bottom of the ninth sports, brought to you by Sports Treasures, where the real sports fan goes to shop.
9:33 in the morning, and it's the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour, and that means it must be time for the bottom of the night sports. Always brought to you by Sports Treasures with over 5 million cards in stock. Check them out for all of your sports fan needs right there in the heart of North Knox in Fountain City. Well, an unfortunate weekend for our Tennessee Volunteers in multiple sports as our Diamond Vols dropped their first loss of the season to Fresno State, although they did take the series, and the streak at 15 games has been snapped. Lady Vols softball on the diamond and themselves down in Florida. They got the best of them over the first 2 games, 12-1 total runs scored in those first 2 games, but then fall in the finale to Florida 8-0. So getting the series, though, is a big deal over the number Florida team.
Yep.
And, of course, over the weekend, we had the game against Auburn down there in the Plains.
I don't know.
Didn't really get to see that much of it, but it is unfortunate we took that loss. But for everybody that said, I think it'd be good for them to lose before a tournament, there you go.
Not against Auburn, man. We dropped it against them last year, and they were shooting threes, man. I mean, that's what they do. That is what they do. And you can even tell when they're running their offense, they had it all the way around the perimeter and like one guy inside. And there were some plays they'd have all four around the three-point arc, and, they wouldn't be anybody inside.
Well, that's been what we have had the problem with that first game with Vanderbilt. If they get hot shooting, we usually have to keep up. And so you just couldn't.
Coming out the second half.
If you look at all of our losses, like combined points, less than a touchdown, it seems like. So I'm
Except
okay
for that
with
one Kentucky loss.
Yeah, but who really counts that?
Well, they came out that second half cold. I mean, it's happened so many times this year, man. I dread that beginning of the second half in a basketball game because usually, I mean, they come out cold. And they did. They came out cold, shot cold, and let them shoot them three-pointers and come back on them. And, I mean, it was a good game to watch. It was fun to watch.
And now our SEC tournament will start this upcoming weekend, right?
So we'd be a number 2 seed, right?
We're number 3, I believe.
Probably a 3. So, but once again, let's win this SEC championship tournament. What was it? Shu told us it's the first time we could win it since like 79 or something like that. 78, 79. The Ernie and Bernie show was the last one to win it. So let's get that banner hung up. And of course, anytime that you can win a tournament like that, that's just going to propel you. We need great guard play in tournaments for you to drop it down low. And setup or layup is the way most tournaments are won. And I think we've got some of the best guard play in the country.
Yeah, Tennessee plays, I believe, the second day of the tournament. They don't play on the very first day.
We did way better than having to play on the first day. Also down there in Auburn today, swimming and diving, the NCAA Zone Diving Championships. Our boy Colin Zhang, who everyone will know once he starts winning gold medals, going to go down there and try to get some better dives as we get ready for the NCAA Championships. That pool in Auburn, Tory, second fastest pool in America.
Okay, what makes a pool fast?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Fast pools are usually dictated by how the water feels, the movement, and the times that have been put up. If you've beaten a bunch of times in a pool, it just gets the name fast. Right? The Tracy Calkins pool out there in Nashville, fastest pool in America. Yeah, more.
I think it'd have something to do with the water in it, though.
You'd think, man. It's made out of chlorine. It's crazy.
Water.
Yeah.
And it comes down to the times, and a lot of those times are based off of the drag race event, the 50 free. And, of course, so none of that really matters when you're coming down to diving. Spring practice still going on. We're excited for our season. Cory, Forrester visiting us from the Well-Read. You're a big Georgia fan.
I am.
What are you seeing for your team this year?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I haven't kept up. I ain't been on the dog net in a couple months. I ain't been looking at spring stuff. I've been a really bad fan. We've been busy with some stuff, which is great.
Are you going to get to take in a game at Sanford this year?
Yeah, yes. I went last year, and I'd been on like a 3-year drought from not going because we've been so busy. But I went last year, and I was like, man, I got to go once a year. We're always going to have at least one off weekend during the fall. But, yeah, I'm going to go down. Normally, I don't actually – man, I haven't been in the stadium since it was that LSU-Georgia shootout like 5 years ago.
Right.
I don't like going in the game because I always, tailgate and get buzzed up, and then everybody goes in the game and they don't serve alcohol, and I get a hangover by the second half. I like to tailgate right outside the stadium so I can watch it on some dude's TV but still hear everything that's going on.
Yeah.
That's my jam. I'll go to Athens for the entire weekend, but I may not go in the stadium.
Yeah, sometimes that's the best way to do it.
And here's the thing, man, because of who I am and my status, I get to go hang out in the stadium the day before the game and go check out stuff because I know the trainer. They give me the shoes. You know what I'm saying? I got a pair of Georgia Nike.
He did it just for the shoes.
Of course I did. Yeah. So I can go in the stadium.
Right.
I ain't worried about that, but I ain't trying to go in there. I ain't trying to go in there amongst the non-drinkers. That ain't it.
This is the bougiest this studio's ever been.
Oh yeah. For those of you that don't know me, I'm kind of doing a character.
Yeah, I know. Well, I tell you what, Stanford does have one of the best vibes.
It's unreal.
And one of my favorite things is getting to watch a game outside at the folks' house over there at Godwin Pub. Waylond's been there before. If it's an overcast day and those fireworks get where they carry, you can almost hear the stadium from the folks' house, and so that is great.
Yeah.
U.S. Cycling, unfortunately, suffered a community-suffering devastating loss with the passing of Kelly Tn, U.S. Cycling national team member, passed away at a very young age, 23, Tory.
Oh, wow.
So, wow, silver medalist in 2016 games in Rio. And of course, Babe Ruth's last surviving daughter, dead at 102.
Wow.
Man, if I make it...
I always wanted to meet her.
Yeah. Wow.
What a bummer.
I know. That's crazy. 102 years old.
Man.
Wow. I don't want to live that long.
No, Lord, no. I can't believe Babe Ruth, any offspring, lived to be 102.
Yeah, you think they would just be
made out of a hot dog.
Yeah, hops and dogs right there.
It's a hot dog with teeth.
I pulled up the SEC tournament real quick. Starts off Wednesday with Texas A&M and Vanderbilt. Thursday, the winner of that plays Mississippi State on Thursday. Friday, the winner of that, Mississippi State, and the winner of Texas A&M and Vanderbilt will play Tennessee on Friday.
Wow. So we pretty much know that's going to be A&M. Vanderbilt hadn't won an SEC game all season.
Yeah, so it's going to be probably down to A&M and Mississippi State.
Man, I'm hoping to see it. I want to see us get in there and get this championship for the entire university and for Admiral Schofield and this whole team that worked so hard this season, giving us the best basketball season we've ever had.
It's been a good run, buddy. I've enjoyed watching it.
It has been amazing. I hope Admiral Schofield gets to go all the way in the nerd out bracket. Big matchups today. But, Tori, I got your bottom of the ninth home run. You ready?
Let me have it.
A complete stranger and an unemployed New Jersey man kept his house by keeping a winning lottery ticket worth $273 million. The 44-year-old Michael was distracted by his phone when he left his $2 lottery tickets on the counter, and the quick stop clerk in a rural county played the Good Samaritan, found the tickets, and gave them to the store workers who held them for Michael. And when he came to pick up the tickets the next day, one of them, it turned out to be a big winner. Says his plans are to go crazy with his money by buying a Ford Raptor and taking his family on vacation. What do you think about that?
That's what's up, man.
I think that's pretty good.
I mean, I don't think I can't imagine me winning that much money thinking Ford Raptor. That is excuse me, I'm sorry. I've made this whole time and not cussing. I almost did.
Right.
Ford Raptors are pretty dope, but like we're talking about $230 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm buying a fleet of them. We all got one.
Yeah, first off, Bronco. That's the first move you made. Doors off, roof off, driving around barefoot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't get a Raptor. I'm just saying that shouldn't be the first thing that comes to your mind.
Not when there's a Jeep out there to buy.
No, Lord, no.
9:41 in the morning. That's going to do it for your Bottom of the Night Sports. Always brought to you by Sports Treasures. We'll be right back to find out what we learned today and our shout-outs and goodbyes here on The Morning After on 94Z.
You're listening to The Morning After on 94Z.
10 minutes until that magical hour of 10 a.m. when The Morning After is over for the day. I know, but we got to make room for Shu. He's coming in here, and today he's got a big lunch alternative. You want to be checking it out because it is Retro Taco this week, located 3821 East Governor John Sevier Highway. And what I always think of, the mountain road. As soon as you make that left on the John Sevier, that's all you get to see.
Yes.
The mountains in the background. Retro Taco going to be in here for the lunch alternative, so make sure you keep it locked right here to Shu. And I guess we're going to give our winners. Obviously, Friday's game, Admiral Schofield and Aquaman pulled it out against Miles Morales and Xena Princess Warrior, or Warrior Princess, however you want to say it. And then today's matchup, not easy being green. It was Slimer versus Yoda. Tori, who won that one?
Yoda just destroyed him.
Wow, power of the lightsaber.
Not even close.
Power of the lightsaber. I'm glad we got one Jedi through so far.
Yeah.
And then in the big matchup from the Emerald City bracket, Batman had to travel. Waylond pointed that out when we first broke down the bracket. Said he's not going to be happy about it.
He's
first
coming
matchup
with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he came in with definitely a cowl on his head, right? And so he went up against Optimus. Tori, what happened in that round?
Batman won it.
Well, I
ran away with it.
Yes.
I pulled for Optimus right there. I really did. So, but I'm happy with it. So
Yeah.
Batman moves on, and he will face the winner of Skeletor versus Ray. And now Yoda will go on, and he'll face the winner of Chuck Norris versus Darkwing Duck. I bet you never thought you'd hear that sentence on the radio. So, man, big day today. Thank you so much. Waylond comes in every Monday, dropping his top 10. And, of course, from the Well-Read Comedy Group, good friend of ours, Chickamauga's favorite son, the man, the myth, the legend, Co-Fly, Cory Forrester.
Oh, I like that. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, we really appreciate it also. But it gets to be about this point in the day, Tori, and I got to kind of know, what'd you learn?
Well, I've learned that working in a room full of comedians is like juggling cats. Keeping order today has been a task, but a fun one.
Good.
That's on me. My bad.
Well, a little bit of everything. I think that when someone like you that comes into the studio, Waylond and I step it up a little bit too. And so it makes it a lot of fun. So I appreciate it. Speaking of Waylond, I need to know, buddy, what'd you learn today?
Well, Well, we usually do a callback to something we actually talked about on the show, but I'm going to do a callback to something we talked about off air.
Okay.
Which, if you're really wanting a drink and everything's closed, you just need to buy another hotel room.
Yep.
And get wine that
That's
way.
true.
Just
That's
ball
Take
out
it
like
back.
that.
And then take it back to your other hotel room.
That's when you go the Oliver Twist route. Please, sir, can I have some more mini ball?
That's what it is.
Oh, my goodness. From the Well-Read, got to enjoy the 110th birthday of the Bijou. Cory Forrester joining us today. Buddy, I couldn't imagine that you would learn something from the morning after, but what'd you learn today? Shout-outs, plugs, where you going? Where's the podcast? How can we find out more about you and the Well-Read guys?
Well, what I learned is if I'm going to do morning radio with Jack James, I need to sleep the night before, which I did not. Here's where you can find me, wellreadcomedy.com, WELLRED comedy.com. That's also our podcast, the Well-Read Podcast. It's on iTunes, it's on Stitcher, it's on Podbean, wherever you get your podcast. We're going to be everywhere. We're going to be in Sacramento next week, which doesn't matter because we're in Knoxville Radio.
Right.
You ain't going to go there, but wellreadcomedy.com, you can grab our tickets and see us, and go check out our Comedy Central sketches that just got put up on comedycentral.com underneath Well-Read. Go to shows and go to Well-Read, and you can see those. They're really funny, I think. I like them.
They are extremely hilarious, and, man, that is an amazing step up being on Comedy Central and still trying to get the show going.
Yeah, man.
How's the book sales going?
I don't look at it anymore, but it's good enough. It bought me a house. So,
Nice.
You can get it at Amazon.com, The Liberal Redneck Manifesto, Dragon Dixie Out of the Dark. And I wrote that with my good buddies Trey Crowder and Drew Morgan, Knoxville's own.
Yes,
And
they
I
are.
did the illustrations,
And
by
yes,
God.
and Waylond did the illustration. So,
And I got my copy. I went back there. You're having book sign here in Knoxville. And I've never been to a book signing before, Tori.
Right.
So I walked back there, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm here to get my book signed. So they signed the book. I talked with a minute, and then I don't want to bother them because other real customers and people are going to come up now.
he's never not wanted to bother me.
Well, that is true. And then I said, all right, I'll see you guys. So I take the book, and I go walking outside. Well, the thing, beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Because I was stealing the book, I forgot that you still had to buy that book.
Yeah, you have to purchase it.
I just, it didn't hit me.
Oh, you should have just hollered at me. I'd have got you hooked up.
So
I got a few copies in my trunk.
You gotta buy it.
Yeah, well, no, I thought that was, but it. No, it was my mistake.
You hear something funny? I came home the other day and one of the legs off of our dining room table had apparently snapped off, and I walk in there and I just kind of noticed something. My wife had it propped up with my audio books. They were just sitting. I was like, and she. By the way, my wife ain't never heard the dadgum thing, read it. No, she goes, I know how this looks, but it just fit and it works. So yeah, we got to do something with them.
Hey, and that's why you married that woman. She's a problem solver, right
she
there.
is. Yeah, and creator.
Well, I tell you guys what I learned today is it's absolutely impossible to put a Mount Rushmore together of comedy or anybody else. I would never have wanted that job back in the day of picking which presidents to put on the face of a mountain, because even when it's something like comedy, very different, varying answers and reasons why. And like you guys said, it changes from minute to minute on how you feel. So very hard thing to pick out. And it's also something I didn't mention in the bottom of the night sports, but a little shout out for my bird here. Her school, Gardner Webb, is getting into the big dance for the first time ever.
Oh.
So way to go, Gardner Webb Bulldogs right there. Appreciate that right there. So that's a lot of fun and great time. And if you missed anything today, all you got to do is go
to 940rocks.com and click on that
He ain't getting no sleep
tab. Scroll on down. The morning after, right below that's the SoundCloud. You click on click on the SoundCloud, takes you directly to SoundCloud. I'll have that up around 2 o'clock.
Around 2 o'clock today, the morning after, a.k.a. Plan C, now fully downloadable from the SoundCloud. Guys, great show today. Thank you again, Cory Forrester, for coming in here. Check him out. If you weren't at the shows this weekend at the Bijou, you missed out unless you got to go to Pixies with Tori. He said it was the best concert of his life.
Oh, yeah.
And we're bringing more great concerts to you. Always keep it locked right here on 94Z, because we've even got your chances for festival passes like the 420 Festival happening in Atlanta over the 19th and the 20th and 21st in the great city of Hotlanta. Waylond, also, thanks again for coming in on Monday. But, Tori, I got to know, are you ready for a 20-hour break?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right, we're going to take that 20-hour break. As always, open up your heart, let that hippie out, and please, buckle up before you back up, turn those headlights on when you drive, and life's too short as it is. Put the phone down, don't text and drive, don't app and drive, and always look both ways for bicycles, motorcycles, and silverback gorillas.
It's not easy being green.
It ain't easy at all. We'll see you back here at 6 a.m. Tuesday morning on the Morning After on 94Z.
10 a.m. on 94Z.